Welcome back to Bird Stadium on the campus of the University of Maryland in College Park. And the fourth quarter of the national championship game of college lacrosse Division I. The Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins 11, Syracuse 9. Tom Means with Lee Felsmo. And there's a look at the stats, Lee.
Hopkins doing a great job of keeping Syracuse away from their transition game. Ground balls now moving in slightly in Syracuse's favor. Face-off still Hopkins with the edge, but not as much. They've made a change there, and this gentleman, number 43, Mike McGee, has pulled it back to within reach for Syracuse. I tell you, when you look at shots overall, the big number that Roy Simmons wanted, Tom, was 55 shots. He thinks in the first game they only shot about 30 times. He needed 55 shots. They're not on that pace.
Gate is on the run, and getting the shot away is Gary Gate. Kesnick got a piece of it. It's out of bounds.
They're on 30 shots so far. They have shot 30 so far through the third period. So that's a little bit than what Roy wants. He wants more shots. So if they crank it up here, they need to shoot again 55 times to beat the great Kesnick.
And there's Roy Simmons Sr., the father of the head coach in the Orangemen of Syracuse. Back to action on the field, Jim Egan. There's Alberti in front. The shot, the quick one by Dumpson is a save by Kesnick. He stays with the ball so well tonight.
Beautiful job against a nice feed and go. And here's Paul.
Paul Gate. Kesnick helped block that one off with his defense.
Bolter has really gotten himself together. He got beat by Paul early on, but staying right with him, doing a nice job.
And Volker helping to clear the ball for Johns Hopkins. Ciccarone wants to pass it. Goes back to Kesnick.
Hopkins has this game right where they want it.
It's been a great game. It's been a great game. And ought to get the government seal of approval with the vice president here today.
I think everybody's happy. You look at the crowd. It's going to be a record crowd, I can tell you. Conditions and the weather are perfect.
And here is Lucas, who scored just a few moments ago in the third quarter. Pass into the zone of Syracuse to Russell. Russell gets it to Ime. Goaltender calls the pick. Ime gets free, and the pass is intercepted by Syracuse. Making a nice play there was Rob Pershing coming back into the net.
Good thing he did, because Palin gambled. Palin was way out of the goal. If that feed had gone through, it would have been an easy shot and a goal for Hopkins, but Pershing cut it off with Palin well outside the net.
McCabe works in with that long stick. Zolberti.
Zolberti, a little or no factor. Juan, he's taken Zolberti out of his effective role as playmaker for this team. Two guys after that defense. We talk about Petramala. He's everywhere, mostly on a gate or two. And then, of course, Duan against the great Z-Man.
Greg Burns moves into the attack box for Syracuse.
They might be trying to exploit this, Tom. Burns, who's a pretty good player, against Ciccarone, maybe the number 3 guy on the Hopkins roster as defenseman go.
Burns played nicely by Ciccarone. Down he slips, and Ciccarone looks to take control of the ball. Burns is back up to get it, though. Nice play to Burns. To Dumpson, he scores! Rodney Dumpson touched the margin to 1 again, 11-10.
What a game. Rodney Dumpson, pretty much a guy who carries the water for the Gates boys. He really sets up all the plays, does all the leg work, and Rodney's in the right place here. Good hustle by this team with Greg Burns losing the ball at first to Ciccarone. Help from Paul Gate, and then Burns pushes it out, gets control. Now he's looking. He sees Dumpson all the way across. Dumpson takes one step and puts everything he has behind it. A nice hard shot.
Rodney Dumpson's goal brings the Orange of Syracuse back within 1 with loads of time left. 12 minutes, 29 seconds.
And face-offs again. Mike McGee in there. He's been effective.
Whistle, illegal procedure, the call. The ball will go to Syracuse. Resen Pollock started moving and trying to get an advantage physically there and started moving before the referee blew his whistle.
Since McGee came into the game, Syracuse has won 7 out of 9 face-offs. Big tactical move by Syracuse and Simmons and Coach John Desko putting McGee in there, and it's paid dividends for him.
Syracuse threatening to tie the game now with possession trailing by 1, but a nice job by Brian Volker against Paul Gate. However, Gary Gate scoops it up. Hopkins fans wanted a penalty. Instead, they get a tie game. The goal by Gary Gate.
There's the most dramatic player in the game. Just when you think he's out of sorts and maybe no factor whatsoever, he puts on a show and makes a dramatic shot, extending himself all the way. What's this? Tremendous defense, but Gary Gate says, hey, I'm going to get myself into the game. He feels pressure from Petramala, so he leads. What a play by Gary Gate. Not many guys can do that.
And a goal by Gary Gate negates a penalty that was going to be called on Johns Hopkins anyway. So we've got a brand new tilt. We're 11 with 12-13 left.
Fully extended. That's the man, Gary Gate. 2 goals. He's coming on strong in the 4th quarter.
And another face-off. Looks like it will be controlled by Syracuse, but no, Rezin Pollock rushes back to get it, but he was beaten on the initial play.
And that's happened how many times today? Hopkins just doesn't give up. If Syracuse would stay with it for another 20 seconds, they'd get a lot more.
Pass almost intercepted by Zolberti, and it will be, I believe, Syracuse ball. We have a timeout on the field, 11:56 left. Back in a moment. In this tie game with time running down inside 10 minutes, each team still has their complement of 2 timeouts that they can use. And if we go into overtime, each team, I understand, will have an additional timeout to use in overtime.
Sudden death, 5 minutes. They switch in 5-minute period and go for the first goal, takes the win, if it goes that long.
Well, earlier this year, Hopkins lost his last regular season game in double overtime to Towson State.
Marichek's open. If they find him, now they slide over and get him. Wilkins, he was open for a moment.
It's Marichek with the ball now. Wilkins is on him. Back out to Gate. Gate is tripped up by Brendan Kelly, and here comes the flag.
Brendan Kelly literally took him off his feet, and that'll be a penalty. A good chance for Syracuse to get the first lead they've had in a long time.
Well, Paul Gate, that may be a good penalty, because look at him. If he gets by his man there...
that's literally a trick. That was one of the most flagrant trips I've ever seen. But you're right, it could be a good one. Rather than have Paul go one-on-one with Kesenick, give him a chance to go ahead and do it in a power play situation. Wasn't much chance, though, not to make that call. He just literally stuck his foot out, took down Paul Gate.
I looked for the penalty flag. I didn't see it initially. I still raised my eyebrows. The flag was so high up in the air, it took a while for it to land.
One of those 20-yard tosses.
Yeah. So Gary and Paul Gate, Marichek, and Dumpson and Zolberti, along with Burns, all inside the attack box in the extra man situation for Syracuse. We're tied at 11.
Canadians will kill you, and that's all finishers. And there's Zolberti!
Zolberti with a shot and goal. They say he wasn't in the crease area when he took the shot, and Syracuse got the lead.
Zolberti sensed that Hopkins was playing the Canadians tough. He felt a little seam. He came in, he faced his wingman the whole way as if he was going to pass it. Now watch, he'll fake like he's going to pass it back out, then he'll inside roll, dive out, and lay it into the upper corner. Beautiful play by the Z-man, who really wants to be effective in this game. Look at the inside roll, extends himself all the way, and then right away Kesnick's crying he was in the crease. No dice. Good play by the Z-man.
And his footwork was excellent that time as Zolberti kept himself out of the crease until the shot was taken. Of course, he landed in, but it doesn't matter. The ball the goal, and the Syracuse Orangemen have the lead, and a whistle off the faceoff.
McGee's in there again for a face-off against Rezin Pollock, and it's going to be a penalty against Rezin Pollock for procedure. McGee, totally effective. Maybe the single reason that this team is in the game against the Hopkins team at this point. He's got the possession for the Orangemen back to Syracuse.
Don Zimmerman can't believe it. That's the second time in a row Rezin Pollock's been called for illegal procedure. Oh, wait a minute. Now they changed the call. They're going to give it to Hopkins.
Wait a minute. They're going to call a bench call here.
What's happening here? We have
might have been a substitution, illegal procedure on the bench after that penalty for some reason. And now they give it back to Hopkins. Whatever the reason is, for sure, it's going back to Hopkins. This was on the face-off, and there was a call there before the face-off. Like, for instance, when the whistle blows, the procedure there normally is that he moves too soon. And as we look at Simmons, a little bit disgusted on that call. He's got a 1-goal lead, though, and it was the Z-man, the leader of that defense, or the offense, rather, the captain, the senior, who got the go-ahead goal.
Brendan Kelly with it for Johns Hopkins. 12-11, the Blue Jays trail now.
Stouffer back on Panetta, and they're going to put all their chips on Panetta. The guy's got 5 goals.
Panetta wheels around. Wants to go to his left. Gets it clear, shoots it wide. But I'm as nearest to it. Blue Jays will retain possession when we return. 8:09 left to go. Fourth quarter. Syracuse 12. Johns Hopkins 11. As we return to action, 8:09 left of the fourth quarter, and Johns Hopkins has the man advantage offense. Bob Smith is in the box for a minute for an illegal body check. Right as that whistle sounded.
You got to slide and pick up Panetta. He's been too dominant, and he slid and really just knocked him off with the cross check. That cost him a penalty. This will be the first shot, Tom, of Hopkins in the fourth period, and we're halfway through.
They haven't taken a shot in the period.
That's correct.
That's unbelievable.
This will be a test, though, for Palem. He's got to come up big.
Wilkins, the bounce here, was nowhere near the goal. Hopkins will retain possession. 7:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. And the Orange still leading by the slimmest of margins at 12-11. Panetta, this is John Sheehan with it. Sheehan to Wilkins. Crisp passing, the shot taken quickly there by Mike Morrissey. Loose ball picked up by Wilkins, and Hopkins will start it again, still with the extra man. Sheehan the bounce here. Maybe caught everybody, including his own team, off guard. Loose ball in front. Syracuse gathers it up.
Credit the defense. They literally body blocked the last two shots by Hopkins. Never got to Palem. And that's what they want to do. Absorb his shots, save the chance of the ball going by the goalie Palem, who's not having a great day.
Well, both teams now are even up. Syracuse threatening the goal, and Gate is in, and the save by Kesenick against Gary Gate, and here he comes out of the goal for Hopkins.
That's why he's the best, I'll tell you. Gary Gate comes right in with a sensational move. Kesenick is there to turn it away.
And look at this. We have number 43, Petr Mala, forced into a turnover by Marichek. And a whistle, and it'll be Syracuse ball.
Could have been touching the ball, but I think it was an illegal check. Whatever it was against Billy Dwan, 28. And he comes flying through there. Watch Billy Dwan, 28, right here. He comes flying through, assuming that Egan's going to pick up that ball, or rather Burns, and he's going to have to knock him down with all the force he can muster. Burns didn't connect with the ball. Consequently, the penalty was on Billy Dwan.
6:44 in running, and time becomes more a factor with every tick of the clock.
Back to Paul Gate. He's the guy that has done it all day, and that's the matchup they like. He wants to clear out. He wants a little room.
Here comes Paul Gate into the zone whistle as he gets a pass into the crease area.
Warding off. Tough call. They're being very tough against Syracuse. The call was warding off and was offhand. They feel you can hold your hand up and protect the stick, but if you flail it up and push away the check attempt of the other team, that's a warding off call, and that's the call against Paul. It was an obvious move, but one that has not been called yet today.
Could be a big swing call in this game should Johns Hopkins come down and get the tying goal.
Two-goal cushion against Hopkins. That's what Syracuse is looking for, and Hopkins refusing to relent.
Clint Kesenick now is Syracuse doing a good job pressuring in the Hopkins zone. A lot of field out there. You would think lots of times it'd be simple to get somebody open, but sometimes it's not so simple. However, here comes Patrick Russell. Russell gets the pass over to Jay Clark, and this is Wilkins.
Plenty of times Russell says, calm down, we're going to make a switch here. He comes off, fresh legs come on. Now we'll set up that attack.
Brendan Kelly. Oh, his pass was intended for Ime, and it was nowhere near Ime, and the ball will go over to Syracuse.
You know what's happening, Tom, is that Ime is getting heavy pressure from McCabe. That's the best matchup for Syracuse. They, for a while, put McCabe on the strong Panetta. They got him back on Ime, and he's chasing him all over the field. McCabe is. He's giving him such pressure that time Kelly guessed that Ime was going to come out, but he went in because of the intense pressure from McCabe.
McCabe passes back to the crease to Palem.
This is where Syracuse can benefit from a little bit of control ball, as it were. Stouffer, second-team All-American.
And here comes Palem up the field for Syracuse. The clock running, 5 minutes, 10 seconds and counting.
Paul Gate calls for the ball, goes to help out Palem. They don't want Palem to go too far and control that ball. Now the offense has it. This could be a back-breaking goal if they can come up with it.
Paul Gate taking his time there, pressured by Brian Volker. Here comes Gate. Gate is open in the crease now. He'll take a check and have to pass it off to Dumpson. Dumpson winds up, shoots, scores! Rodney Dumpson, the biggest game of his life right here. All the attention is going on the Gates. And so when the slide manufactures itself, there he is, Dumpson all by himself. Watch this, Gate getting a lot of attention, double team, triple team. He sees Dumpson, he dishes it over to Dumpson, who takes the bad pass, makes one move, and